और आज मेरे साथ जुड़ रहे हैं एक नई कंपनी जिसका IPO आ रहा है बाजार में, यूनिमेक एरोस्पेस। ये एक अपने आप में अनूठी कंपनी है, थोड़ी अलग तरह की कंपनी है। जिस तरह से नाम से ही आप समझ सकते हैं कि एरोस्पेस क्षेत्र में सक्रिय है। क्या क्या काम है इनका, किस तरह से आगे इनकी योजनाएं हैं, ये सब कुछ हम समझेंगे। और इसके लिए हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं रामकृष्ण कमोजला, जो कंपनी के CFO हैं। मिस्टर रामकृष्ण, वेलकम। आपसे ये समझना चाहेंगे सबसे पहले कि अभी आपके कामकाज के बारे में, आपके ऑपरेशंस के बारे में हमारे दर्शक शायद बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं जानते होंगे। तो सबसे पहले आप थोड़ा सा उन्हें एक ब्रीफ में इंट्रोड्यूस कीजिए कि आपकी कंपनी क्या करती है।
श्योर राजीव जी। सो अभी यूनिमेक एरोस्पेस तो एक एरोस्पेस कंपनी है, सो विच वी मैन्युफैक्चर एरोस्पेस टूलिंग। ये जो इम्पोर्टेंट है अभी समझना है। सो एरोस्पेस टूलिंग क्या होता है? सो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग ऑफ एरोस्पेस टूल तो हमारा मेन फोटे है। तो एरो टूलिंग, देयर आर टू कैटेगरीज आर देयर, इंजन टूलिंग, एयर फ्रेम टूलिंग, दो चीज है। तो अभी थोड़ा टाइम स्पेंड करता हूँ कि एक्सप्लेन करने में क्या इंजन टूलिंग होता है। सो इफ यू सी आपका एनी व्हीकल, एनी से एक कार में जैकी बोल के रहता है ना, सो जैक विच इज फॉर द रिप्लेसमेंट, दैट विच हेल्प्स car tire to remove, वैसे aerospace industry, aircraft OEMs, aero engine OEMs, they need many tools that support their manufacturing operation, their assembly operation. Okay, so just to give you more information, like when engine is getting assembled at plant, इंजन तो बहुत बड़ा आइटम है ना, लाइक सो इट्स लाइक मॉड्यूल्स वुड बी देयर फ्रंट साइड, सो ऑल दोस मॉड्यूल्स व्हेन इट नीड्स टू बी असेंबल्ड, they need multi varieties of tools, which is a few kgs to tons to few meters to mega scale height, so various tool support system would be there to assemble it, disassemble purpose, transport purpose, lifting purpose, support the pedestals. Such varieties of tools are designed by OEMs, which helps their manufacturing or assembly of engine get assembled properly. So that is called aero engine tool. And these aero engine tools also require when aircraft when it is used periodically, airlines also need a lot of tools for their repair purpose, for general maintenance purpose. I say maintenance purpose, like you would have seen in every aircraft, once in a 3 days 4 days they remove engine, and then put one more engine. Remove engine is not that easy. They need mega skill tools, so such tools are called aero engine tools. And similarly, when engine sent for the repair, for the deep maintenance purpose, again plenty of tools required. So this is a kind of vast variety life cycle of aircraft. Life cycle of aircraft engine is closely associated with various number of mechanical tools, mechanical assemblies that helps them to maintain this thing. So that is what we manufacture from them.
बिल्कुल। तो रामा, आप बेसिकली जो एयरक्राफ्ट्स हैं उनकी मेंटेनेंस का एक कह सकते हैं कि बहुत खास, बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट हिस्सा हैं। तो यहाँ पर आपके क्लाइंट्स कौन होते हैं? जो एयरलाइंस हैं वो, या जो उनको मेंटेनेंस सर्विस प्रोवाइड करने वाले ऑपरेटर्स हैं, आप डायरेक्टली उनके साथ जुड़ते हैं?
ठीक है। So I think here, Rajiv ji, so there is one important thing we need to understand: who will use these tools, who needs these tools. So they are our end customers.
So what is your client profile basically?
Yeah, that I'll explain. Like so first OEMs, the engine OEMs, engine manufacturers, they're called OEMs. Engine OEMs, airlines, MRO companies. These three people, continuous basis, they need tools. From whom they procure is, there is a global licensing concept. Is there global licensees, so who are authorized by OEMs to get it done, for the global purposes. So global supply chain purposes. So my customers are OEMs also be directly linked, and global licensees. So these are the global licensees, no, who is my customer. In turn, they supply to airlines as well as MRO companies and also MROs and also OEMs. So this is my customer kind of categorization.
जी, तो मतलब प्राइमरी कस्टमर्स आपके क्या एयरलाइन मैन्युफैक्चरर्स हैं, जो इंजन मैन्युफैक्चरर्स हैं, जो एयरक्राफ्ट्स बनाते हैं, वो मैन्युफैक्चरर्स आपके प्राइमरी कस्टमर हैं?
Yeah, primary is like the people. Aero engine tooling is one category where engine OEMs are end customer. Okay, or engine OEMs are are my kind of customers. When it comes to airframe tooling, aircraft manufacturers. You know that aircraft, that there are only two players, of course. So we deal with them.
Right. So both are your clients.
Yeah, since they are not kind of permission is required to use their names, no, so we
Right.
want to.
ओके, तो ये आपके क्लाइंट प्रोफाइल है, लेकिन आपके ओवरऑल नंबर ऑफ क्लाइंट्स कितने हैं? क्योंकि आपने इंडस्ट्री में तीनों जो पार्ट हैं, इंजन मैन्युफैक्चरर और एयरक्राफ्ट मैन्युफैक्चरर और साथ में एयरलाइन सर्विस प्रोवाइडर्स और साथ में आपने कहा कि जो एमआरओ सर्विस प्रोवाइड करते हैं वो ऑपरेटर्स भी। तो आपकी नंबर ऑफ क्लाइंट्स कितनी है, अगर आप एक आइडिया दे सकें?
Sure. तो अभी शुरुआत हुआ 2016 में with one customer into aero engine tooling. So अभी जर्नी ऐसा हुआ कि it's not, we are not started everything one stage. तो एक साल के बाद our growth step by step approach was there. 2016 to 2018, when 2016 when we started, the first segment we started was aero engine tooling, not everything, aero engine tooling only, and with one global licensee who started giving one after one varieties of tools. Tools, thousands of varieties would be there. Each tool will have a volume, but more than 1,000 varieties would be there. He started accrediting us or approving us for the varieties of tools. Then Abhi, even now the first customer is giving good business to us. Second year, one more aero engine global licensees started giving work order to us. We are working with them still now. Like that, global OEM, global licenses around 6 people we are working with them. Then in somewhere in 2019, 2020, airframe tooling we started. Like these big OEMs, so airframe tooling we started working with them, and one after one they started giving business to us. And third thing, somewhere in 2022 or 23, we started a new segment called precision part segment, Rajiji. So वो segment, precision part segment, we focus on very high sun rising and high demand industries, such as nuclear is a very high demand category. We focus on nuclear parts and subsystem. Defense is a good sun rising industry. Semiconductor, when I say, we don't manufacture chips, we manufacture equipment for the or parts that require that goes to equipment manufacturers. Okay, so we started 22 a precision parts and component segment that support the sun rising industries, like nuclear, as I mentioned, defense and semiconductor industry. So each of these segments, each of this category has its own customers. Every year we are onboarding almost, Rajesh, 26 customers we have onboarded so far. And the last 1 year is very interesting year. Post COVID, I think most of the industries in India picked up very well, and we also grown very much. And last 1 year, I think the kind of good customers we onboard is very high. And these customers are mostly exports, as I mentioned. So there are 7 countries of we focus. Among that, US is a predominant country which we focus, and customers, majority of customers are from US only. So अभी आपका हमारा revenue देख लिया तो last year we did around 208 crores approximately. In that 94% export revenue है. So yeah, so majority coming from the overseas.
जी, सो आप ये कह रहे हैं कि आपने 2022 से एक तरह का डाइवर्सिफिकेशन किया है सेगमेंट्स का, मतलब नाउ यू आर नॉट entirely dependent on just single industry, that is aerospace.
Yes. So I'll just try slightly tweak it. We are focusing, heavy into aerospace as well as non-aerospace also there. But from aerospace tooling, in addition to the tooling, aerospace parts also we are doing. So it means there is a kind of customers are could be common, while they give, tooling business, and when they realize that no, we can do precision parts business also, we are getting opportunity from them, in the precision parts segment. Yes, your question is right. No, like in addition to aerospace, we felt like we it's a time to get into newer industry for the resilience purpose, for the risk mitigation purpose. Depending on only on one sector, probably could be risk. So having said that, aerospace is a super business. There is no issue in that, But when you see who is Unimech, we are a manufacturer of high complex, high mix, category of high precision manufacturers. It so happened like aero tooling or aerospace we catch up first, but we can do beyond aerospace also. So that is where I think nuclear business we felt it is appropriate. It's a good segment that we can focus, which has a similar skill expected.
जी। अच्छा, जो 26 कस्टमर्स आपके हैं, क्या उसमें कोई कंसंट्रेशन आपको दिखता है कि टॉप 3 या टॉप 5 इनका कंट्रीब्यूशन आपके रेवेन्यू में, इनकी हिस्सेदारी आपके रेवेन्यू में बहुत ज़्यादा हो? कुछ इस तरह का कंसंट्रेशन है या काफ़ी डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड है?
Concentration here, Ajay ji. So the thing is, concentration क्यों आया बोले तो it so happen in every company journey, the first customer always play very high role, because he gives more business, and compared to second or third customer. So that is one thing. And एक चीज, if you take a step back, ये जो aerospace industry है ना राजीव जी, so this is itself is a concentric industry where number of aircraft companies only, you can name 2 or 3 only there. And the engines, manufacturer of engines, only 4 or 3 or 4, man, not beyond that. So, and their licenses are maximum 15. So I say, kind of, if you make, my universe, it is, yes, slightly concentrated. And my revenue, if you see, top 4 or 5 customers are giving, almost 80% of the business. Because, the as such, the nature of aerospace business is itself is like that. But if you ask me, is it a risky? It's not a risk thing. It's a good opportunity, because aerospace में और एक चीज है सर, ये once customer on board, supply like us, changing us is very difficult unless we spoil the quality. That's a different thing. But any new supplier entering into this field also very kind of challenging. It's a kind of high entry barrier, kind of category. So customer concentration is there, but it is not a issue actually in this.
जी। राम, जैसा आप बता रहे हैं कि ये बहुत ज़्यादा हाई एंट्री बैरियर वाला सेगमेंट है, ऑब्वियसली। तो इसीलिए मेरे मन में ये सवाल आ रहा था पहले से कि जो फर्स्ट कस्टमर आपने 2016 में पकड़ा, वो कैसे मिला आपको? क्योंकि उस समय आपके लिए वो एंट्री बैरियर हो रहा होगा, जो आज की तारीख में आपके लिए आप कह रहे हैं कि वो रिस्क मिटिगेटिंग फैक्टर है कि इस इंडस्ट्री में एक हाई रिस्क, मतलब हाई एंट्री बैरियर है। 2016 में आपने उस हाई एंट्री बैरियर को फेस किया होगा, तो वो पहला कस्टमर आपको कैसे मिला?
Yeah, it's a good question, Ajay. So in 2016, when we started, 5 founders. We started by 5 founders. One of the founder, the main founder is Anil. So Anil, he was working as a engineering. He has an engineering service as a consulting business. Unimech Consulting. The name of the company is also Unimech Consulting, which eventually became Unimech Aerospace, a manufacturing company. So he was serving to one French customer who is actually into this tooling segment. So that idea of tooling has come from that sector. Otherwise, the aerospace tooling, India is nowhere. It is heavily focused in the Western world. Only European and heavily into US. So India is nowhere in that. But it so happened that when we first customer, he was working for one customer, who is into who is taking only engineering service, not anything. He asked Anil that hey, you seems to be very good in engineering, why don't you manufacture this tool? Then Anil approached all of us like ऐसा एक मौका मिला, like opportunity है कि मैन्युफैक्चर करने के लिए दे आर आस्किंग तो कर सकते हैं क्या. देन वी फेल्ड लाइक ये क्या है एमआरओ सेक्टर. देन वी स्टार्टेड गेटिंग इनटू दैट. बट राजीव जी ऐसे नहीं है. लाइक इन 2016 we first went to Paris Air Show. Then we went to MRO America, MRO Singapore, MRO Dubai, MRO Germany. Like that, we traveled extensively. कि ये market क्या है? Why India is not focused on such a niche sector? Then when we traveled, then there we started showing one or two parts which, because we are not done anything like so we started explaining orally that we can do, because we are already into services. Our Anil is already into service. So then one customer, a second, kind of the first customer whomever I'm saying, he said like, okay, I'll give you low complex thing, Then he gave one. We successfully completed. He gave a couple of things. So it took 6 months for him to understand who we actually. It's not that easy. Plus ऐसा हुआ कि
तो ये एक तरह का मतलब फिर स्टार्टअप वाला फेज था फिर आपका.
स्टार्टअप वाला फेज. इट वाज फर्स्ट ईयर में क्या रेवेन्यू नहीं है ना, 1.5 सीआर रेवेन्यू कुछ नहीं था. सो बट क्या हुआ ना, लाइक वी आर वेरी बुलिश अबाउट दैट. ये मार्केट इंडिया को लाना ही पड़ेगा, बिकॉज why we have excellent engineers here, so what is the problem, then we always ahead of their customer thinking, तो करना ही बोल के. then that were 2 years we struggled, but third year onwards we never looked back.
जी राम, अक्सर स्टार्टअप जो है फंडिंग के साथ ही शुरू होते हैं या शुरू करते हैं फिर फंडिंग लेते हैं. तो क्या आपने भी अपने इनिशियल फेज में वीसी से, प्राइवेट इक्विटी प्लेयर से कुछ फंडिंग ली?
नहीं लिया. So the reason is like it is not just a capex oriented company. It is more of skill oriented company. Okay, so it's not that like the moment I put 100 cr revenue aayega. It's not that like so it is like as you mentioned, it's a heavy entry barrier, and skill proving is very important. So we realize that we should not focus on just capex, but we should focus on the skill and finished assembly. That is important. इसके लिए while initially all the founders we put 1 cr, then we resigned all our company. Earlier we used to work in good MNC companies, so we all exit, and then we took personal loans kind of thing, and we invested in our full and friendship and all those stuff. It's a completely bootstrapped by 5 of us. No VCs are there, and we were heavily using the external supply chain who is having missions like MSME company. They have missions, but they don't know how to do business. We know business. So then we said like the top class category A kind of high-end machines, yes, we should invest. Engineering, we should invest. Fabrication, we should invest. But if it comes to machining, B class machining, C class normal machining, take a subcontracting job work take, then we can manage. That is how capex we are managed, and that is the reason like we are always maintain healthy return on capital employed, and assets turnover will maintain that. But so the thing is like we know that manufacturing is not just machine में डाल दो आएगा पैसा. I say that approach we don't have that. It's the end assembly is important, and get the things done through end assembly. Invest on the core processes. That is what the mantra what we are Ajit.
जी. अच्छा राम, आप सीएफओ का रोल प्ले कर रहे हैं इस कंपनी में, तो अपने फाइनेंसेस के बारे में बताइए. किस तरह की एक ब्रॉड फाइनेंशियल पिक्चर आपकी कंपनी की आज की तारीख में है जब आप आईपीओ के लिए जा रहे हैं?
Yes. So we last year, FY24, last financial year, we closed at approximately 208 crores revenue with EBITDA margin of more than 38%. EBITDA margin is there, and PAT is 25-26%. Profit after tax is there. And और एक चीज बताना चाहता हूँ आपको, like from the day one, the margin profile is same. It is not, except COVID year where slightly it is lower, but it is not that it is we have reached now. It is not that. So every year we are consistently maintaining, because the industry profile, the high complex, high mix, low volume, the industry segment itself is that where which yield more margins. So we are we are having so the ROC, return on capital employed, is more than 40% kind of thing. And assets turnover ratio, if you see where asset utilization to the sales ratio, it is more than 4 times, 4.5 times. So it's a kind of very healthy kind of financial framework is there. And in terms of future growth, if you see like so far we have grown up it a very significant compounding growth, which is more than 130% CAGR, compounding growth, we had, and the market is, the aerospace market, and the kind of focus on India, OEMs has on India, and also manufacturing, presence in India is increasing. People are looking at India more, and aerospace sector India is developing. So we see that we are able to maintain a good growth in the next decades easily. Towards that, anyway, capex and working capital, that is what, in IPO we are raising 250 CR. We are raised. So in terms of financial health, that is a fundamental, we wanted to continue and keep forever. Like, any business simple principle is
जी
profit. Profit, तो, is the only mantra, what we have in mind.
बिल्कुल। लेकिन आपके लास्ट ईयर के जो फाइनेंशियल्स हैं उसमें रेवेन्यू 125% के आसपास ग्रोथ कर रही है, और आपकी जो नेट प्रॉफिट है उसमें 150% से ज़्यादा का ग्रोथ है। लेकिन ये मतलब क्या इस तरह की रन रेट आप कब तक कंटिन्यू कर पाएंगे? आगे के लिए आप किस तरह की रन रेट देखते हैं?
Very important question, Rajesh. So, when it comes to margin maintenance, one important aspect here is, the segment, as I said, like, high complex, high, mix, low volume, aero tooling segment. As long as, aero tooling segment, which is heavy precision category, high end precision category in the aerospace sector, we continue to do that. We will able to enjoy that margin. Another thing, first principle. First principle, like, you need to manufacture properly in a first time. A tool like order आया, but a tool है, 5 quantity or 10 quantity they give. You manufacture it in a given time, without fail. Versus एक बार reject हुआ, then your margins have gone. Or and also he wanted in a 12 to 16 weeks. एक बार रिजेक्ट होने के बाद another 12 weeks will start, so customer confidence will go. So it means the first principle Unimech will follow that, when you manufacture, there is no other way, like, you have to be successful. So when you maintain rejection ratio under control, margins so aayega. So, and another thing in the DNA of
जी
this company is, we don't want to select a category, a segment which doesn't give margin, or low margins or
राम,
low.
you are very focused on margin, but I also want to understand the growth. जो आपकी रेवेन्यू ग्रोथ है और जो आपकी प्रॉफिट ग्रोथ है, वो कितनी आप मेंटेन कर पाएंगे आगे चल करके, गोइंग फॉरवर्ड?
So revenue growth, we will able to maintain, the kind of last previous, if you see, last 4 years, 135% CAGR is there, we will easily see, like, double digit growth, will continue for the next 4 years. There is no kind of doubt we have. And since, aero tooling, is going to be predominant business, margin also will be well maintained, so it will not deteriorate, so that is what, I'm trying to say.
But double digit is something starting from 10 to 99. That is a huge range. So when you say double digit, what does it mean for your investors?
So it is like, average, we see, kind of, see 135, I don't want to commit, but it's a kind of, uh, 20 25, this is easily possible, so while, it's the combination of many factors, it's converting into number versus, the in, the what is we are going to drive is important, Rajesh. So the thing is, like, what strategies, customer strategy we have, and that will result into whether there is a kind of 20%, 20 times growth, or 30 times, average CAGR, that drives, so in this, we are heavily focusing, aero tooling side, which is the aerospace side, the customer whom we are onboarded, we wanted to penetrate, in the sense, like, we wanted to work very closely and take, high end, high important jobs, from each of the customer. And next thing, it is called, qualifying for more number of SKU is a technical word. So qualifying for more number of SKU from each of the customer is very important, and that will continue to do, as long as we'll do that, whatever the, growth rate, which, it's a derivative of that, and next segment, as I mentioned, a new segment, which is high demand segment, nuclear and all those stuff, will continue to do, and we are kind of, very confident that, kind of good growth, would continue, in the next 4 years easily.
जी राम, मैं आपका आरएचपी डॉक्यूमेंट देख रहा था और उसमें आपके कैश फ्लो नंबर्स ठीक ठाक दिख रहे हैं, उसकी एक पिक्चर आप हमारे व्यूअर्स के सामने रखिए कि इस समय कैश फ्लो किस तरह का आप जनरेट कर पा रहे हैं, फ्री कैश फ्लो, और आगे किस तरह के कैश फ्लो की आप एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं.
Sure. So cash flow is always healthy, in this company. The reason is like the PAT generation, the profit generation, which is 22% or 25%, whatever is the PAT is there, which is it is in the retained earning form. And next thing, when it in terms of investment in the working capital or capex, if you see the capex, we always borrowed money. We are not utilized the cash, whatever we have written in, we are not in use for that. Rather, wherever capex is there, we have borrowed the capital. We have 70 cr debt also there. Okay, both in terms of term loan and working capital. It means the cash is always protected for the kind of rainy day. And the next thing, in terms of working capital cycle, we have to very closely monitor, in sense like the heavy inventory items, like keeping raw material more stock, which is something we don't do. Rather, when purchase order comes, we buy material, and immediately the inventory blockage is only in work in progress. In another word, finished good, the moment it comes, we are selling it. So, and the inventory of this company is only into 3 to 2.5 months kind of work in progress stock. And the receivables, we are able to collect it quite reasonably, while there is a challenge always aerospace company, because OEMs they don't pay properly. But 80-85 days, overall 140 days of working capital purpose, you also kept the borrowed money, like working capital is a tool, debt is there, both term and working capital. So the cash preservation is always important, and which is maintained that. And if you see all the last 3 years cash flow viewer के लिए, all the last 3 years में, like operating cash is almost 90% or 85% of the the profit what we have generated. It means like it is converted into cash. And the amount whatever the capex you see in the cash flow in the second line, where investment towards capex also there, but it is also substituted by like loans borrowed, debt is also there. It means we have enough cash reserve always maintained. Just to give you like last year financials, or even recently also, while 70 cr debt is there, but also we have a cash of 65 cr, or approximately plus or minus. So cash is always protected well in this company.
जी. एक कॉमन सेंस वाला सवाल आपसे पूछूंगा. अगर आपके पास 7 करोड़ का डेट है और 65 करोड़ आपके पास पड़े हैं, इफ आई हर्ड द नंबर्स करेक्टली, तो वो 7 करोड़ का डेट मैं क्यों रखूंगा? आई विल जस्ट रीपे दैट डेट.
Exactly. So I think me as a CFO, I have a different philosophy. So which has actually proved me right. The thing is like when you have a ability to borrow, to some extent you need to borrow and keep the money for the rainy day. When number one, when you get a big order from the customer, you cannot reject it. So rather use this cash for the accepting the order. Second thing, when exigencies, unknown things will come. That exactly COVID time it has come. During the COVID time, we had a 12 crores cash, and aerospace industry, 12 months we suffered. But we as a company neither sacked any employees, nor kind of uh, nothing has happened. Like however, my cash is there. I started utilizing it. For the almost 8 months, we have used it. So my strategy on keeping cash for the exigencies, has helped during the COVID. So that is the reason. Even now, I always see that paisa hai to then keep it for the customer. When who knows, when customer gives a bigger order, you cannot reject it. So that is my intention, Ajay.
राइट. तो आगे चल करके जब आप आईपीओ प्रोसीड्स आपको मिलेंगे 250 करोड़ रुपए, 250 करोड़ रुपीज, आपके 500 करोड़ रुपीज के आईपीओ में हाफ द पार्ट इज ओएफएस, लेकिन जो बाकी 250 करोड़ आपकी कंपनी में आएंगे और साथ में जो आपका फ्री कैश फ्लो जनरेट हो रहा है, इन सब का यूटिलाइजेशन आप आगे क्या देख रहे हैं? किस तरह से उसको यूज करना है? एक्सपेंशन में करना है, डाइवर्सिफिकेशन में करना है, क्या है प्लान्स कंपनी के?
Perfect. So the kind of capacity expansion is last every year we have capacity expansion almost 3 times happened, and next going forward two times of capacity expansion is happening. So when I say capacity expansion, it's like machine capacity need to be added. So the money what we are raising in IPO, 250 CR, fresh issue, which is going to be used for, number one, for the capex purpose, second two, for the working capital, third one, no, like there is a debt repayment also there, and fourth one, a general corporate purpose also there. So this capex and working capital, which is intended for the to handle the multiple growth in the next 2 years or maybe 2.5 years, this money 12 to 15 months, we are going to use. And the capex, some portion is going to happen now, capacity expansion, and remaining capacity expansion in the next financial is going to happen. And once capacity expansion happen, working capital will be used for the next year as well as subsequent year. So अभी ये growth handle करने के लिए, like we kept ourselves, like, though I have 65 crores cash that can be utilized for the next 6 months or maybe 8 months. But उसके बाद, working capital you need to plan, because growth plans are very high. So this money is kept for the second year and next year and subsequent year for the working capital purpose.
राइट। और जो आपका ओएफएस पार्ट है, सो ये बिकॉज यू डोंट हैव वीसी इन्वेस्टर्स और पीई इन्वेस्टर्स, तो ये जो ओएफएस पार्ट है ये सारा का सारा फाउंडर्स की तरफ से है?
Yes, so though this OFS 250 CR, is going to go to the only founders, 5 founders. We are 5 people, and according to their shareholding, we will get it. And viewers also need to understand here, एक चीज बताना चाहता हूँ, like, why OFS so is important. Like, honestly, at a personal front, I also don't need it because I know that this company, growth perspective. So, but the thing is, like, when I need 250 CR, initially we need 300, 50, 40 kind of, access, the bank funding has happened. So 250 CR, we went for the capitalizing to IPO. So that time, it was, it was told us, like, to make, the issue size, reasonably well positioned, it can't be 250, it has to be, 500. So promoter has to dilute, their stake, secondary sale has to happen, That's how I think the decision of OFS, the first time we heard and it implemented.
ओके, तो ये इशू साइज को डिसेंट रखने के पर्पस से भी आपने ये ओएफएस रखा है? इट वाज नॉट जस्ट दैट द फाउंडर्स नीडेड दैट मनी?
No, we don't need that money. If we given a choice, like, we have a different plans to possibility of investing in, we need to see that now, but we don't need it. Yes.
गुड टू सी दैट कन्विक्शन। अब यहाँ पर एक पॉइंट मैं आपके आरएचपी में देख रहा था और वो थोड़ा समझना चाहूँगा कि आपका जो ज़्यादातर बिजनेस है, मोस्टली 80 to 90% बिजनेस जो है, वो आपकी एक स्टेप डाउन सब्सिडियरी है और दैट इज इनोमेक एरोस्पेस टूरिंग प्राइवेट लिमिटेड। आपका ये 80 to 90% बिजनेस, आपका ये सारा ऑपरेशन इस सब्सिडियरी के थ्रू हो रहा है, तो ये स्ट्रक्चर आपने क्यों रखा है?
Good question. So there are two business units we have, in our business model. Two business unit. One is MRO tooling, that is managed by, that is, managed by a plant, in special economic zone, which is the subsidiary company, because it's a special economic zone, the tax-free entity. And the SBU business unit 2, which is, another industrial zone, which is managed by the, Unimech Aerospace, there's a parent company. So which does nuclear and fission part, mostly domestic kind of business. So we have, initially all the business were in one place. But when, when we set up a new facility in the special economic zone, which is a tax-free zone, it needs to be like, the export business completely we gave it to subsidiary company. It's 100% only subsidiary company. It is there is no other investor. So the obligation or object of this subsidiary company, is, special economic zone, and tax benefit is there. So export business, is moved to MR, the subsidiary company, and domestic business is in the domestic area where now the plant number 2, which is focusing on that. So, and the plan is to continue for next many years like this. MRO tooling, which is going to be the special economic zone managed by subsidiary company. Domestic business or any kind of fission part business going to be focused by the domestic plant.
राइट, लेकिन ये जो इनोमेक है, इसकी शेयर होल्डिंग पैटर्न क्या है? क्या जो यूनिमेक एरोस्पेस की शेयर होल्डिंग है? और
Unimech Aerospace, only one shareholder. Unimech 100% shares held by Unimech only. There is no other people.
ओके, सो नॉट इंडिविजुअल्स, जो कंपनी है वही
Only
अपने
one.
आप में 100% शेयर होल्डर है इसकी?
100%, yeah.
ओके, मतलब ऐसा कोई रिस्क नहीं है कि किसी शेयर
No,
होल्डर ने इधर
it's only one
कोई
shareholder. So
एग्जिट कर लिया तो दिक्कत हो सकती है,
नहीं
वो
नहीं
रिस्क
कुछ
नहीं है इसमें।
नहीं,
ओके,
only
चलिए।
one shareholder. So
राम, बहुत अच्छा लगा आपसे बात करके और बहुत आपके लिए बेस्ट विशेस हम कहेंगे। धन्यवाद आपका
pleasure
समय
talking to
निकालने।
Raju. Thank you very much. So great talking to you. And
थैंक यू।
I seek your viewer support and as well as your channel support. And we are kind of more of supporters for the Make in India, and and also aerospace in a big way happening in India, like and we seek all your blessings, and your blessings in growing this industry.
सर, सपोर्ट करने का काम तो इन्वेस्टर्स का है, हम तो प्लेटफॉर्म है, हम आपको एक प्लेटफॉर्म देते हैं अपनी बात आप इन्वेस्टर्स तक पहुंचाने का। थैंक यू।
Sure, sure. Thank you, sir.